Hello, thank you for joining me. These videos are for August 2022 using a sidereal zodiac for both ascendants and moon signs. So I'm just going to talk a little bit about the months generally speaking and see what's happening in the month of August 2022. Firstly, I use sidereal zodiac. So if you want to know in sidereal zodiac, which is different, it's like 23, 24 degrees behind the Western astrology. So if you wanted to find out how, what your ascendant or moon sign is, you can use a wonderful app, although it's quite complex, called Cosmic Insight. Put your details in and it tells you what your ascendant is and your moon sign. And then you can just watch along, watch both, ascendant for your path and moon for how it feels. I'm also very big on intentions and manifestations. So there are 3 dates in this month of August that you can do that. You can do it on the 5th of the month when moon is in Swati, and then 17th moon is in Ashwini. Swati is in Libra and Ashwini is in Aries, and then again at 31st of the month moon will be again back in Swati. So 3 opportunities to do these. The way I do them, I normally do it on white piece of paper, blue ink, and first of all say gratitude to the universe, and then I write in detail what I want. You've got to be specific, because if you want to say I want a job and then you just, that's it, you want to just like write it down and put it, it's not going to work. You have to put energy towards that. So your energy, what you put energy in is what you manifest. And you got to, so you want to write down what type of job, what sort of progress you want to have, what sort of training, what type of people you want to work with, and just be very specific, salary, location, how much you want to travel, all that kind of stuff. And then write it down and then thank the universe and then leave it in the northwest of your property. That's how I normally do it. So it's really nice to do that and just use very empowering words, because words are, like you say, can you spell that word for me? Spelling, put a spell on the universe. That's what you want to do, manifest really good things. And that's the reason why I always discourage people from using difficult words. You want to use empowering words, positive, abundant words. That's what my teacher always just say, just be abundant. So that will be the way to do it. So that's another thing to just bear in mind for the month. And so I wanted to just say, obviously, we've had since the 16th of July, we've had this opposition where Sun has been in Cancer, and Saturn retrograde has been in Capricorn since the 13th of July. So we have this opposition going on, which is quite difficult, but we're all going through it. So just be aware of yourself, be careful with your dad, and also just bear in mind that this is going to be difficult, but it's only till the 18th of the month, and then after that all will be good. But this is quite a time for governments and politicians and leaders. So we are just kind of disposing of the ones around the world. World is just purging all the people who are not leaders, who are not for the people. So that is what's really happening, and it's going to continue doing that. So watch out for some more happening this week and so forth. Well, it's probably till the 18th actually. So also Rahu, the whole of the month is going to be in Aries. That's the north node of the moon in Aries, and K2 is going to be, or south node will be in Libra. And then we have Saturn in Capricorn retrograde, Jupiter is in Pisces retrograde, so both of them nice and strong in own sign. And we till the 11th, roughly about the 11th of the month, Mars will be in own sign, which is Aries. And what else we have? Sun obviously goes from the 18th, goes in own sign, Leo, so that will be amazing too. So these are the themes. So, but how we start the month for everyone is Mars, Rahu in Aries. Venus will be beginning of the month in Gemini, a friendly sign. Sun will be in Cancer, Saturn in Capricorn retrograde, Jupiter in Pisces retrograde, K2 Libra, Mercury in Leo, and Yeah, and there is also just want to just tell you about the it's obviously a 31-day month. So as I said, there's all these opportunities to you know, manifest things for yourself, etc. And but what I do with each of the ascendants as I do them, somebody did comment about yogas. What do yogas mean? So I'm just going to finish this video and I'll do a very short video on what yogas are in astrology. So I do apologize, but I do have videos. You can go and visit them and they give you much more information. So I'll do that in the next video. And obviously, if you know, you can just skip that bit. I'll put the time in the details below. Thank you very much. Okay, so what are yogas? Yogas are a combination when there's an influence between planets and houses. So normally, obviously, the most beneficial of the kind of yogas are when trinal and angle houses, or the lords of them. By lords, I mean by the lords, but lords are literally the planet that rules that house. There's a combination of them that have some form of influence for each other. So, for example, say if you have Mars. Mars is the first and eighth house ruler for, say, for Aries Ascendant. So when Mars is in conjunction with Jupiter, which rules the 9th and 12th house for Aries, they create this sambandha, this kind of like combination of first and 9th house. First house can be an angle or a trinal house. But for the sake of this, we're going to say it's an angle house coming in connection with the 9th house ruler. So in that case, they're creating a Raja Yoga, because an angle and the trinal house or lords, they've become combined. They can, but I know they rule 8th and 12th house too, but that doesn't matter, because 8th and 12th house, although they are difficult houses, but they don't break any yogas. Only breakage is when 6th house or 6th lord is in is in this combination. So in which case it breaks the yoga, and the fruits of that will come much later, because 6th house is a house that is like upachaya, they call it. It gets better with time. So we get to learn how to manage ourselves, how to deal with obstacles of life. Then you can get fruits from it, from your hard work. So basically, this is what happens. I always look at Raja Yogas, Dana Yogas as well, because these two, Dana Yoga is for wealth, and Raja Yoga is for success. Sorry, I think something happened with my internet then. Yeah, so I always look at those. So those are important. Dana yogas are very important for relationship, because 2nd house is family, 11th house is gain of something, gain of relationship, family, etc. And so trinal houses are 1st, 5th, and 9th houses. Angles are 1st, 4th, 7th, and 10th. So these are obviously very important auspicious houses, and any planets that rules them also becomes an auspicious planet, unless if they rule the 6th house, in which case the combination will not get many fruits. So and if you're lucky, that happens in your D1, which is your natal chart, or your D9, which is in astrology. Vedic astrology is very important. That really confirms the actual strength of all your planets. So if they repeat in that, then it means they're very, very successful yogas. And if they repeat in your D10, which is your career chart, then yes, fantastic. They continue those successes into that as well. So this is what I mean. But please look at my yoga. I have Raja Yoga and Dana Yoga videos. I sometimes also say Mahapurush Yoga. Mahapurush again is elevation, success, and accomplishment yoga as well. This is when a planet is a good planet for the ascendant. Say, for example, for Taurus ascendant, what happens is like Saturn rules their 9th and 10th house. So on its own, because it rules an angle and also a trinal house, 9th house and 10th house, if it goes in any house, it's going to, apart from the 6th house, or becomes involved with Venus, because Venus rules their 6th house. Then if it doesn't has a combination with them, but if it goes in any other house, Saturn on its own can create Raja Yoga for them. But if it's in their if Saturn happens to be in their in Aquarius, it will create what is called a Sasha Yoga for them, Mahapurush Sasha Yoga. So this means of, again, elevation, accomplishment, etc. If for example, for Aries Ascendant, what happens if Jupiter is in their 4th house, which is Cancer, and it will be exalted, or if it is in their 9th house, which is their Sagittarius, then it creates a Hamsa Yoga, again, of success, because it's gone into, it's really strong. It's exalted, or in own sign. In that case, Venus, Mercury, Mars, Jupiter and Saturn can create these Mahapurush yogas. So please watch these videos about them, so you can actually enhance your knowledge of these yogas. Thank you. Hello, this video is for Pisces Ascendant or Pisces Moon using the sidereal zodiac for the month of August 2022. Okay, let's start. Right, so we start the month with your ruler, Jupiter. Jupiter rules for your 1st and 10th house. So already being there in the 1st house creates a wonderful Mahapurush yoga called Hamsa, which is all about achievements, about success, accomplishment, being respected by others. So that's wonderful. Jupiter in the 1st house also has directional strength. So this is not just your average Jupiter, so very strong, even though it's retrograde, so still passive. You also have like 11th house ruler or 12th house ruler aspect in your 1st house. So there's obviously, it just means that there's a lot of energy going, putting effort into yourself. You are creating your own gains, if you like, in that situation. So just going to go through what's happening there. So Jupiter is also aspecting your 5th house of fun, romance, children, education, creativity. It's also where in the 5th house is where Jupiter is exalted. So this is really nice. It's really blessing that Sun for you. Sun is obviously rules your 6th house, and it's in the 5th house. So this is great for going to sporty events, going to cinema, theatre, that form of things. And also aspecting what would be like your 7th house of relationships, which is, it's lovely. It's giving you, if you're single, it's going to give you lots of opportunities and optimism. If you're with somebody, it's going to make you really sort of appreciate and give gratitude and enjoy your relationship. And also 7th house is a reflection of your 10th house of career, and it's your 10th house ruler aspect in it as well. So it's really nice for that too. It's also aspecting your 9th house of luck, happiness, and father and gurus and education, higher education and learnings. So that's what Jupiter is doing. Saturn is obviously aspecting your 1st house, putting effort into yourself, aspecting what would be your 5th house also. They're both aspecting that 5th house. So it just means that this is all to do with, putting effort into like your academic education, children. So if you wanted to have children, this will be a really good time, because when Saturn and Jupiter aspect in one house, it just means that it's you want to just like create an opportunity, and they can manifest for you. It's also aspecting what would be also your 8th house of changes too. So this could also be like 8th house is research. It's like all kind of healing, all kind of the occults, accidents and things like that too. So it's that house is also being aspected not just by Saturn, also Mars is aspecting your eighth house, and so is, yes, and Ketu is sitting there. So you know that you are making some changes. Maybe you know, this is not really you're probably, you know, going to be like really wanting to connect with the occults, form of occults, form of healing, like psychotherapy, self-healing, Reiki. Oh, I forgot some of the you know, like kinesiology, things like that. It's things that you might have done in a previous life. You want to connect with those sorts of stuff, and Mars is giving you the energy to put into that kind of thing too. So you cut in stuff in the eighth house that no longer serves you, but this is more to do with the eighth house stuff that, you know, also it could just be that your lover is somebody that you have a past life connection with. And Mars, you know, obviously that is what it's all about. So it's just like changes, but karmic changes happening, which sometimes if we go with them, they can be quite nice. Rahu for you is all about like your values, self-value, my choices, my family, money, savings, things like that. This is what Rahu wants you to do. This is the focus for you, not so much about other people's money, but more to do with you creating wealth yourself. And from those aspects in your 10th house, so it's you who are going to create this, and it's also aspecting your 6th house of service as well. So, you know, through that, that's how you're going to create that wealth. Mars rules your 2nd and 9th house when you're sitting with Rahu. Rahu is a malefic, but this is where you're putting your energy into making that money. Mars is also is aspect in 4th house as a way, which is your 5th house. So you put in, and you know, you're being protective of your family and your children, and you also, it's also aspect in the 8th house, as we said. So just like Mars 8th house could just be like, just don't be too impulsive, you know, just don't do anything too fast. Oh, that's the best thing. And you could just have cut what, you know, it could just be that you say something quite, you know, intense to your dad, and that could just so upset your dad. So you don't want to do that, because also Mars rules your 9th house. But it is, by aspect, is actually aspecting your 9th house, and so is Jupiter. So it's your 9th house is being looked after, really. And then we have so the situation, Venus for you rules 3rd and 8th house. So it's not a great planet, but it's in the 4th house. So maybe you want to change your home environment. Maybe there's a move, or maybe there's like you've kind of been disconnected from your brother or sister or some of your friends, and it's now you want to spend time with them, because Venus actually in the 4th house creates really nice situation where it's in a friendly sign for one thing, and it's also got directional strength. So you just want to put really nice effort into seeing family, seeing your friends, connecting with friends and family that you haven't seen for a bit, you know, and it just gives you the focus to do that. Sun obviously is 6th house rule in the 5th house, so you obviously sports, competitive sports, things like that would be good, and also like doing things with children that will, you know, be of service to your children and their education, things like that. And Mercury rules 4th and 7th house, and it's now in the 6th house. So it could be that, you know, like 7th house, maybe with spouse, you had some sort of words, but it's Mercury's in good condition. So I really wouldn't worry, you know, like if you had a bit of family sort of rift or anything like that, it'd be, you know, it'd be fine. Mercury's in you know, good situation. Also, things really change middle of the month, and planets just seem to be getting stronger and stronger. So that's the situation going on. So, and it just could be that a spouse and mum are doing some form of community work and helping, you know, other people with service and healing. Okay. So on the 4th, 5th, depending on where you are, we have Moon in Libra, in Swati. So this is one of the days you can put your intentions out. to the universe and let them know what your your intentions are, so you can manifest them. And this is also Moon is aspecting Moon and Mars are aspecting each other as well, with the 2nd and 8th house things going on. So this is a Moon that can research things quite well too. And Moon Mars are really good for property too, generally speaking. If you have it in your particularly if it's not in the 6th house, if you have it in your natal chart, it can give you property. One is home, the other one is land and property. So it's all good. Okay, then we've got a debilitated Moon in your 9th house now. So this is like 5th house ruler in the 9th house. It's actually pretty good, and it's been aspected by the 2nd house ruler. So it actually creates wealth for you and happiness. So that's nice. And then, so what happens now on the 7th of August? Venus goes, Venus for you rules, as I said, 3rd house in the 5th house now. So you're feeling quite creative, wanting to do fun things with children. 3rd house, all the fun things that you can do, picnicking, going for a walk, having a day out, going to an exhibition, going to see a film, connecting with friends, do some dancing, listen to live music. So this is what this is all about. And sports as well. It could be 5th house of sport. Maybe go and watch a game, some tennis or something. And well, if in terms of romance as well, Venus being there, maybe you're connecting with a loved one, or you got to go on a date. Just be careful though, because Sun eclipses any planet that is sitting with, because it's so bright. So if you're single and you go on a date, because obviously that's romance is 5th house, or you meet some of the other party, just get to know them, because that person is not really revealing themselves, their true self. Wait till you get to know them, and then with time you get to know how they are. Don't rush into anything. There's no need to rush through. Okay. Moon, 5th house ruler in the 10th house, creating a wonderful Raja Yoga there. So that's pretty nice. That for a couple of days there. And look at the Sun. Sun is also Sun is indicator of father. Look at that, being hemmed between two lovely benefics, and also being aspected by Jupiter too. So if your dad was poorly during that time, it'd be fine. He's got universal love there. Okay, so here we are on the 10th. We have Mars leaves 2nd house, goes into the 3rd house. Mars in the 3rd house does really well. It can create arguments and discord a little bit with your siblings, but because it's the indicator or significator of siblings, when it's in that sort of sign, it can create problems. So here we have now, it's aspecting own sign 9th house, blessing the 9th house, protecting it. But it's also aspecting Mercury in the 6th house. So it could just be like, be careful how you speak to your mum or your spouse or other people, because Mars is impulsive, and you could say something without digesting it. And, once you say a word, you can't actually retract it anymore. It's been said. So yeah, just be aware, that can happen. And so this happening, and also the next day we have a full moon occurring in your 11th house of gains, friends, elder sibling. And so this is like highlights 5th and 11th house, where there is like, even if there is any discord or anything like that, you can just like think through it, work through it. If you're starting any sort of new regimen of intermittent fasting, exercise, sports, competitive sports, or doing things for service, work, all of those things, it's just going to give you, that's going to be on your mind, and it's going to be the focus for you now. But this is also 5th house ruler with the 11th house ruler for money and gains and children, and just enjoyment is good. And yeah, and although Sun, it's a 6th house ruler in there, it's in friendly signs, so I don't really so worry. And, Moon is also aspecting own sign, protecting it. Okay. Moon opposite Mercury for a couple of days. We can overthink things. Moon and Mercury are not friendly towards each other at all. They don't like to be in each other's signs. They don't like to be conjunct or opposite each other. One is mind, the other one is thinking process. So we overthink, exhaust ourselves, and achieve nothing from it. This is like those thoughts that you wish you didn't have, you know. Just, oh, here we go. The ascendant is changed again. Okay. But moon in the 12th house is really nice for sleep, because you've got benefic there. And also Mercury was there aspecting your 12th house, good for sleep. Okay, so a couple of days when you got moon, 5th house rule in the 1st house, feeling romantic, feeling just rejuvenated with life. You know, these two planets work so well together. This is just wonderful yogas going on. 5th house ruler with the 1st house for money, accomplishment, money, intelligence, success, romance, work. Wonderful, absolutely wonderful. And Jupiter and Moon really help each other so well. It's Kachakasari yoga as well, and your 1st house, very good. Moon in Ashwini, 5th house or in the 2nd house, great for money. And also another day for intentions. So Moon does really well in the 2nd house. Feels exhausted, exalted. It feels as though it's in Taurus. Do you know what I mean? So it's Taurus's natural 2nd house of the zodiac. It's got that feeling. Okay, then we'll have Moon exalted now in the 3rd house. So this is also very, very creative, extremely creative. You might do some singing lessons or something, because this 3rd house is activities. And we got these two planets, Moon and Venus, are in an exchange. 5th house ruler, the 3rd house exalted, and 3rd house ruler in the 5th house. So this means this is really good for creativity, fun. This is just pure fun. Enjoy it, you know, fun, party, good times. And obviously Sun on the 17th, actually, I should have said that, was actually gone into own sign. So Sun is the planet of the soul, indicator of father, leaders, and vitality, intelligence, confidence is now in an own sign. Sun likes to be in the 6th house as well, owns 6th house, so it's just beautiful. And so any issues you've had, like with work or mom's partner or something, you can just, you know, intelligence, planet of intelligence, planet of intellect and practicality together, you become service to each other and look after that situation. Now let's go forward a couple of days as we were. And so yeah, and these two planets, you know, work together well, as I said. Okay, so let's go through. Moon in 4th house, nice and strong. 5th house ruler in the 4th house, directional strength, creating a wonderful Raja yoga for you as well. And Moon, 5th house ruler in the 5th house with 3rd house ruler. This is somebody who enjoys being with their kids, family, having fun, doing artistic thing, maybe do paintings with the kids, picnicking, making things, crafts. Lovely. And Jupiter is blessing both planets. Very nice. Really, really nice. This is, you know, 10th house ruler aspect in 5th house ruler too. Enjoyment of just, you know, like all those beautiful things to do with the 5th house. Really nice. And that Sun is being protected again. Look, 2 benefics that side, 1 that side. Just so nice. Oh, it's so amazing. We deserve this, guys. I mean, I'm not Pisces Ascendant, but good for you. Just amazing. Okay, let me just go back 10 minutes. Okay, so now we have Mercury goes, actually on the 21st, I didn't say that. On the 21st, Mercury goes in own sign. So this is 4th house ruler in the in its own sign. So 7th house ruler. So you're doing fun things. You're doing wonderful things, fun things with family, with your partner, and at work. You're enjoying everything. You know, that access is nice and strong. 1st house ruler aspect in the 7th house, 7th house ruler aspect in the 1st house. Just multiple good things going on. 1st house ruler aspect in 4th house ruler of happiness. Wonderful. And then we have actually it will be the day before. So moon, this is like a new moon occurring in your sixth house. This is all the next couple of weeks. You're just thinking about your health and healing, your service to others. You actually want to do, maybe you, this is also, sixth house is repair, and fourth house, moon, is indicator of the home. So maybe you're doing some redecorating and repairing things at home. This is a good time to do that. This is also, Magha is the nakshatra that is all about our heritage, our legacy, our lineage, our genes, that kind of thing. So it's very much like some of you might want to be of service of your to your family, which is absolutely gorgeous, or others, you know. Wonderful. Okay, so that's happened again. Okay, so go forward. We've got moon, fifth house rule in the seventh house. So feeling quite romantic and chatty with your partner. And then the very last day of the month, we have Venus goes into your sixth house. This is actually Viprit Raj Yoga because it's eighth house rule in the sixth house. Through some difficulties, sudden changes, and all of that, obstacles, then you get success. Obviously, Venus still with the sun, you know, not, and doesn't like to be in Leo at all. So just bear that in mind. But this is also, we end the month with moon in Swati, which is another day to actually manifest your dreams. So we get 3 chances this month, but look, what a month. Jupiter's strong and directional strength, Saturn own sign, Sun own sign. Sun is vitality, everybody's feeling good, and Mercury own sign. Just amazing. Enjoy it, and I'll see you next month. Thank you very much for watching.